Pacaraima Mountains stand tall and proud, like a shrouded ghost behind a hazy cloud. It emerges through the fog like a beacon of hope as the mist undulates and dissipates like smoke. Your eyes glimpse its beauty and then it is gone, like an aberration rising with the break of dawn. You can see its beauty, you can feel its might. It stands tall in the daytime and like a sentry at night.
Brenda Richards, a journalist by profession, a poet and author by passion, reading one of her poems, Guyana the Beautiful, featured in the book titled A Bouquet of Guyanese Flowers, which is an anthology of Guyanese poems covering 4 generations, edited by Robert Lalji. She grew up in Kiti, then migrated to the United States in 1971, where she has spent most of her years. However, this bold and enthusiastic, proud Guyanese woman credited her success to the years she spent in the country of her birth.
I grew up in a community, not only a community at large, where it was a time where it was a village, where everybody lives in a village and the family is connected to the village. But I also grew up in a large family, and as a result of that, I always had the reassurance that there will always be somebody there for me. I never felt lonely because I grew up in a family of 11. I have 6 sisters and 4 brothers. My eldest brother passed, but I have 6 sisters, and I grew up with 6 sisters and 4 brothers. So I always had that sense of knowing.
While she studied journalism at the George Washington University in the U.S. and became a professional television and radio broadcaster, Brenda continued to do what she loved, and that was write. She told us what inspired her to follow her dreams in the literary arts.
The passion for that I think just came out of from the time I was a little girl and liking to write in my diary. I was not much of a reader growing up though. My 2 siblings, my 2 bookend siblings, because when you have so many siblings, there are going to be 2 that you're close to. And we came, 3 little ones came, and so the 2 that bookend me, I'm in the middle of 2 sisters, they were passionate readers. I was never a passionate reader. So for me to be the writer in the family right now is quite interesting and sort of ironic, because in order to write, you should be a good reader. And you should be able to tell these stories of the fact that you love to read since you were a kid. I can't really tell those stories because I was very active. The Kitty Market is across the street, and I was always running over to the Kitty Market. I was more active in my community. Their stories came from reading Enid Blyton, and my sister before me, she loved to read the romantic books. The one behind me, she loved to read like the Hardy Boys and the Enid Blyton and those types of books. For me, my stories came from what was happening in my community. So to answer your question, I would just say that's where it stemmed. That was the genesis of my interest in writing, because there was so much. You would notice this is a very active and vibrant community.
Ms. Richards shared her vision for the literary arts in Guyana with the hosting of an international literary festival at the top of the list,
where people would come from different countries and present their work and encourage the young people to get up on stage and present their work, even if it's something that you've written, just to give them the confidence to know that they can come up on stage and have an audience who would listen to them. And this in and of itself encourages people to read, it encourages people to write, it encourages people to become more involved in the literary arts, in the aspect of poetry and writing. Now, when we say, you know, the arts is broad-based, but when we're talking about things like poetry and writing and coming to a festival where you would be sitting there listening to other people present their poetry and writing, and that sort of encouragement that lets a young Guyanese person, or any Guyanese person for that matter, I don't discriminate with age, for any person to know that they're capable, they can do this.
And what does her future look like?
I hear people throw around the word retire. I don't know what that means, because to me, you can't retire if you're a person who is passionate about writing. You don't retire from writing. as long as you can still get the computer going, you can write. And even when you can't get the computer going, you can talk and have like somebody else write your work for you. So I don't see myself in terms of somebody who is going to retire from writing. I will retire from my bread and butter job, which is I work in the legal field as an office manager for a law firm and doing legal research. But I will retire from that at some point. I don't know when. I don't see retirement on the horizon because I'm still energetic. I still feel very young. I still think I'm very young. So I don't think in terms of retirement. I see myself writing.
Ms. Richards is also in the process of writing a book and is here in Guyana to participate in the Jubilee Literary Festival with her first performance on Friday in New Amsterdam at a special event in tribute to Guyanese poet Edgar Mittelholzer. She shared this piece of advice to young persons.
To stay focused. Focus is very important. If you know what you want to do, stay focused. It's not going to be an easy ride. Going up the mountain is never a smooth go up. It's never a smooth ascent. So to stay focused, remain true to your goals, and if you work hard, you will get to where you want to get to.
For Newsroom, Stacey Carmichael James.